The Grand Galactic Council Chamber was a place where the galaxy made its most important decisions. It was a massive circular hall with tall crystal pillars that glowed with soft blue light. Hundreds of alien species sat in curved rows around a round center platform. Their eyes, scales, and silver masks reflected the pale light as they watched in silence delay. The silence felt different, heavy, tense. Waiting. At the center platform stood Commander Jace Arden, the human ambassador. His dark uniform carried the symbol of Earth, 3 silver stars in a rising pattern. Humanity was still young in the galaxy, only a few decades into galactic politics, and many species still saw humans as weak, emotional, or too unpredictable. But today, when Jace walked into the chamber, every creature could feel something dangerous in the air. He didn't bow. He didn't smile. He simply placed a small holodevice on the table before him and said, "Council members, you need to see this." The device lit up. A large hologram appeared above him, a hologram that froze the entire chamber. It showed a human colony world, Elysium-3, or what used to be a colony. Now it was burning. Mountains of smoke rose into the sky. Buildings were destroyed. Firestorms, 8 entire cities, frozen bodies floated in ruined streets. A place full of life only days ago now looked like a graveyard. Some council members gasped quietly. Others stared with cold, unblinking eyes. The hologram changed again, this time showing a crater almost a kilometer wide. Entire families had vanished inside it. The ground around the crater was melted like glass. Nothing could survive such power. Then Commander Jace spoke again, his voice steady but full of pain. 46,000 civilians killed. No warning. No survivors. Whispers filled the room. A tall reptilian representative hissed, "Humans are dramatic. Many worlds suffer attacks. Why should this matter more?" Another alien, a thin creature with silver feathers, let out a soft laugh. "Humans are still new to the galaxy. They must learn to accept loss." Some aliens nodded. Others watched with pity but avoided eye contact. Many believed humans were too emotional, too loud, too young to handle galactic-level crises. Commander Jace did not react. He simply clicked another button. A new recording appeared, static at first. Then, a dark, deep voice. "This is only the beginning." Every corner of the massive chamber went silent. The voice did not sound like any known species. It did not match any language in the council database. It was cold, confident, almost amused. The lights dimmed slightly as the hologram faded. No one spoke for several seconds. Finally, a council elder, a floating crystalline being, said, "Do you claim this recording is real, human?" Jace stared at him. "We found this message in the ruins. It came from the attackers." A heavy wave of tension moved through the chamber. "Who attacked Yukani?" an insectoid representative asked. "That," Jace said, "is the problem. We do not know." He took a deep breath and continued. "This was not a random attack. This was a declaration of war against us." A group of council members immediately shook their heads. A short alien with glowing eyes shouted, "Then humanity must defend itself." "The council will not be pulled into your problems," another said. "Your people expand too fast. You anger unknown enemies. This is your fault." A cold echo filled the hall. "Humanity stands alone." Jace's jaw tightened. But he did not shout. He looked at the massive circle of alien representatives, creatures older and stronger than humanity by thousands of years, and said calmly, "You refuse to help us. You refuse to even investigate." One council member shrugged. "We do not have enough evidence." Another added, "It is not our concern." The blue lights in the chamber flickered as Jace picked up the holodevice for the first time. He allowed his true emotion to show, rich, controlled like a blade held tight. He stepped closer to the center of the platform. Then his voice filled every corner of the council chamber. Cold and powerful, "Then hear this clearly." The aliens stopped whispering. "If the council will not protect us," every pair of alien eyes focused on him, "if you will not stand with us." Jace lifted his head and his next words cut through the hall like a blade. "Then today, in this chamber, humanity declares its first galactic war." The chamber gasped as alarms flickered. The lights dimmed. A deep hum echoed through the walls as the council members realized humanity was no longer asking for help. Humanity was choosing war, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. Humanity's declaration of war echoed across the galaxy like a shockwave. Every news channel, every data stream, every colony screen repeated the same scene again and again. Commander Jace Arden standing alone in the Grand Council Chamber, staring down hundreds of alien species and declaring a galactic war without fear. To some aliens, he looked reckless. To others, he looked dangerous, but to humans, he looked like a leader. Earth had never felt so quiet and so awake at the same time. Families, soldiers, engineers, scientists all watched the ruined images of Elysium-3, the burning cities, the crater melted into glass. The strange voice saying, "This is only the beginning." People felt fear, but stronger than fear. They felt rage. A new fire began spreading through humanity. A fire no enemy had ever seen before. One, the human response inside the Earth's Defense Command. Alarms flashed. Red. Massive screens displayed maps of all human colonies. Some circles glowed green, some yellow. Elysium 3, once bright blue, now showed only a silent gray icon. A new message played through the speakers. By order of the United Human Alliance, all colonies prepare for war readiness. All fleets report for emergency deployment. Huge docking stations lit up around Earth's orbit. Hundreds of ships sold, new, experimental, powered up. Their engines glowed bright white as ground crews worked day and night. Humanity was changing fast. 2. A mystery in the ruins while fleets prepared. A secret investigation team landed on the burned surface of Elysium 3. They wore heavy black suits, walking through ashes and debris. The air was silent. No animals, no wind, no sound of life. Dr. Renanor, the head scientist, scanned the melted crater. Her visor showed strange readings. "Commander, this is impossible," she said through the com.jace. Arden answered from orbit. "What did you find?" Rena crouched beside a twisted piece of metal half buried in the dust. It wasn't human. It wasn't from any known species. "This alloy," she whispered, "should not exist. It is stronger than countergrade titanium, but weighs almost nothing." She lifted it slowly. A strange black symbol was carved into the side curved lines, forming a shape like a broken star. Rena felt a chill. "We still don't know what attacked us," she said, "but whatever they are far ahead of anything we have seen." She paused. "And they wanted us to know they were here." 3. Whispers across the galaxy in the shadows of the galactic rim. Some alien species watched the situation carefully. The reptilian Vrax Dominion met in a dark chamber. Their leader hissed, "Humans are angry. Angry humans are dangerous." They, crystalline species Solari, studied the melted ruins. "If such weapons exist," they said, "all our worlds could be next." Other species felt fear, others felt curiosity. Some began to wonder if the mysterious attackers might come for them too, but none dared to speak. Publicly, no one wanted to stand with humans. Not yet, for the human war machine wakes back on Earth. Shipyards glowed like stars. New battleships rolled out, Titan-class dreadnoughts, with reinforced hulls, Falcon strike ships built for speed, Warden-class carriers, holding hundreds of fighters. Young pilots lined up for training. Engineers slept on the floors. Families sent food to military bases. For the first time in human history, every nation, every colony, every faction was united not out of agreement, but out of survival. Humanity was preparing for a war against an enemy no one had ever seen. 5. The disappearance. 3 weeks after the war declaration, a human scout ship Horizon 14 entered a dark region at the edge of known space. It was searching for clues, for star maps, for anything that might lead to the attackers. At first everything was quiet. Then nothing, no signal, no reply, no wreckage. Only one short message reached Earth before the ship went silent. "They are here." The message repeated for 2 seconds, then stopped. Not jammed, not destroyed, just gone. The word spread fast. If the enemy could make a ship disappear without a trace, they were far more advanced than anyone feared. 6. The fleet assembles. Commander Jace Arden stood aboard the flagship Solstice Prime. Through the large glass window, he saw Earth glowing beneath him, beautiful, fragile, alive. Behind his ship, the entire human First Fleet stretched across space like a wall of steel and light. Hundreds of ships, thousands of lives. Jace looked at his officers. "We are hunting shadows," he said. "But shadows leave trails. This enemy is confident, too confident. They attacked us without fear. They think we will break." His voice hardened. "They are wrong." 7. The jump into darkness. Cliffhanger. The fleet locked onto the last known signal of Horizon 14. "Coordinates ready," the navigator said. The screens showed only a black region of space, no stars, no planets, no light. "Jump," Jace ordered. Space folded around them. The fleet entered the void. Silence. Darkness. Cold. Alarms began to scream. Unknown signature detected. Multiplying shields up. Something is moving everywhere. The darkness outside. The windows shifted, like something alive. Then a deep voice, not through the speakers, not through the radios, but inside every mind, whispered, "We warned you." The fleet lights flickered. A massive shape moved in the shadows. The enemy was here, and humanity was staring straight into the jaws of something far, far worse than anyone had imagined. The human First Fleet hung in the darkness like tiny sparks floating inside a black ocean. No stars, no planets, no light, except the glow of human warships. Commander Jace Arden stood on the command bridge of Solstice Prime, staring into the void. The air felt heavy, thick, almost alive. The whisper still echoed in his mind. "We warned you." The voice had no source, no direction. It felt like it came from everywhere, and nowhere. Then the darkness moved, not slowly, not like drifting. gas or dust. It shifted like a living creature, stretching its limbs after a long sleep. Contact. Multiple, an officer yelled. Double quotes, hundreds, dash no, thousands. Red lights exploded across the ship's screens. Shapes emerged from the shadows, massive black vessels with sharp edges like floating blades carved from night itself. They made no sound. They sent no radio signal. They did not glow with engines. They simply appeared as if the void itself had decided to take form. One enemy revealed. The enemy ships activated bright red symbols on their hulls, the same broken star symbol found in the ruins of Elysium-3. Dr. Noor watched through a remote feed from her lab ship. That symbol, she whispered. It's not a warning. It's a mark of ownership. Jace clenched his fists. These are the ones who destroyed our colony. A deep echo rolled through the fleet, not audio, but psychic. A powerful mind pushing into thousands of human minds at once. We told you to stay silent. We told you to stay small. You refused. Some officers shook, some held their heads. The whisper grew stronger. Now, it will break. But they underestimated humans. Humans break, but then humans rise. 2. Humanity strikes back fire. Jace shouted. The void exploded in delight. Human battleships launched missiles, railgun rounds, plasma beams, everything they had. For a moment, the darkness lit up like a field of stars. The enemy ships reacted instantly. Shields made of red energy flared to life, blocking most of the damage. A few enemy vessels took hits and shattered silently. But hundreds more advanced. They moved like predators. Fast. Precise. Unstoppable. Double quotes, hold the line, Jace commanded. Falcon fighters swarmed forward like angry sparks. Some dodged enemy fire. Some vanished in red explosions. But every loss fueled human rage. This was not just war, this was justice. 3. A turning point inside the chaos of battle. Dr. Noor discovered something unusual. She studied the enemy ship's energy waves, her fingers moving rapidly across the screens. Commander, she said, voice shaking, I found a pattern. Tell me. The enemy is not controlled ship by ship. They are connected, controlled from a single core node. If we destroy that node, we break their entire network. Jace looked at the tactical display. The node was located deep in the enemy fleet, protected by dozens of massive ships. A suicide mission, certain death. He looked around at his officers, men and women who trusted him with their lives, who take it. For the last push, Jace launched the Iron Spear plan. Titan-class dreadnoughts formed a wall. Falcon fighters created a distraction. The Solstice Prime and 2 Warden carriers broke through enemy lines. The void roared with explosions. Enemy psychic screams rippled across space. Human ships moved with fury and precision. Then Jace saw at the node, a giant black sphere floating in the void, covered in red energy veins pulsing like a beating heart. All ships, Jace ordered, focus fire on the node. The human fleet unleashed everything they had. Missiles tore across space. Railguns cracked the silence. Plasma beams burned through enemy shields. The node began glowing, brighter, cracking, breaking. Keep firing. The red veins pulsed violently, then a massive blast of red energy erupted from the node, hitting the human fleet like a tidal wave. Ships shook, systems failed. Lights flickered, but humans kept fighting. They refused to stop. 5. Victory. And Los with one final strike. A Titan-class dreadnought rammed its burning hull directly into the node. The explosion was blinding. The shockwaves spread through the enemy fleet. Their ships froze. Red symbols dimmed. Their psychic voices collapsed into silence. One by one, the enemy vessels cracked and dissolved into dust. The void became quiet. Still. Empty. Humanity had won the first battle. But when the smoke cleared, dozens of human ships were gone, burning, drifting, or silent. The victory tasted like ash. Jace closed his eyes. We won, he said softly, but at a high cost. 6. The Council reacts days later. The footage of the battle spread across the galaxy. The same alien species who mocked humans now stared in fear. They had never seen humans fight like this. They had never seen humans win against a power stronger than any known empire. For the first time, the Council did not whisper about humans. They whispered about the enemy. If humans could barely survive that first wave, what would happen when the next wave came? Because deep space sensors began detecting signals again. Red energy. The same Brucken star symbol. A message encoded inside the signal. Phase 1 complete. Jace listened to the decoded message on the Solstice Prime. His eyes hardened. They are not finished, he said. Neither are we. He turned to face Earth, glowing in the distance. Let them come. Humanity is ready.